I'm in the picturesque region of the Kashmir Himalayas. This entire belt has been known for its agrarian systems.
Agriculture contribute about 14% to our GDP, and if you take into account the value-added products, it is around 47%, and it gives 52% employment.
Life has revolved around agriculture. The lush paddy field you can see behind me has been a mainstay for the people of the Kashmir Himalayas. On this episode of Life and Science with Pallav Bagla, we look at the changing face of agriculture in the Kashmir Himalayas. Human development and agriculture have gone hand in hand. In the 21st century, some believe that agriculture research and development may not be as necessary as is the services industry. Behind me is the scenic and very beautiful campus of the Sher-e-Kashmir University of Agriculture Sciences and Technology. On this episode, we speak about agriculture in Kashmir, in Jammu, in Ladakh, and in India. To explain to us how agriculture is changing, we have with us Dr. J.P. Sharma. Namaskar, Dr. Sharma.
Namaskar.
Thanks a lot for accommodating us in this very beautiful campus.
Right. Welcome, sir.
Dr. Sharma is an expert on communications and extension. In the 21st century, these are key in this changing face of agriculture. Dr. Sharma, what is the state of agriculture in India and then in Kashmir, in Jammu and Ladakh? Come, sir.
You have rightly said that agriculture in today's context also very important when industry is growing, every sector is growing. But to my mind, nothing can replace agriculture. If I share some figures that agriculture contribute about 14% to our GDP, and if you take into account the value-added products, it is around 47%.
Of the GDP?
Of the GDP.
Nobody tells that number.
No, if we take into account the value-added products, we give only food grain and production only.
Correct.
If you add everything which we are seeing here, also it is coming from agriculture.
Correct.
So it is about 47%. It gives 52% employment. And if you see in Corona period, there was a negative growth of 23%.
Yes.
In manufacturing, industry,
Correct.
housing.
Services center.
But agriculture maintained 3.4% positive growth. So that is the importance of agriculture.
That is what buoyed our economy up
Yes.
when everything was down.
Yes. So you are talking about changes. Changes are everywhere. Agriculture is also changes. And I have seen the change in agriculture last 5-7 years, very drastic change. And the change is also necessitated. One of the important factor for a change in agriculture system is some challenges. The biggest challenge is that per capita land availability is declining day by day. If I give you some figures in 1970, per capita land availability, per family land availability was 2.73 hectare, which declined to 1.5 hectare in 2001, and now we have only 1.08 hectare per family.
Per family?
Per family. So you can see from 2.73 hectare to now 1 hectare only, and the reasons are population growth, conversion of joint families into nuclear families, and also conversion of the agricultural land and non-productive systems, maybe housing, infrastructure and other things. You will be surprised to know that 23% of the farmers are having only 200 square meter of land. 86% farmers are either small or marginal. So we have to see, as a scientist also, as the policy makers also, what kind of agriculture now we have to prescribe. So we are talking for diversification in agriculture. So what are the opportunities we have to capitalize for diversification? And if we see in Jammu and Kashmir region, the land availability is further almost half of the national average.
Okay.
And the productivity of some field crop is also less than the major crops, but in horticulture we are doing well. So now we are talking converting agriculture, which was a way of life, into a dynamic entity, that is agribusiness.
Okay.
Entrepreneurship development in agriculture is the focus of our
Value addition.
Value addition and marketing and everything.
Sure. Now, specifically, what are the challenges and changes you see in Kashmir? Both of us standing in this beautiful valley.
Yes.
What are the changes you see?
Changes, we are thinking to capitalize the strength of this area.
Okay.
The strength of this area, I have told you, land is small, and only that assured irrigation is only 60% in Kashmir and 40% in Jammu. Then what are the opportunities we have identified? And you must be knowing that government has also defined one district, one product.
Okay.
So we have also identified here in Jammu and Kashmir which district is having opportunity, like Jammu and Badgaon district is declared as a dairy district.
Okay.
Samba district has been declared as a mushroom district. Similarly, this Grays and others, Bandipura, these have been identified for different kind of crops. Saffron district we have identified. So whatever strength is there in different districts, we are working on that, how to promote those kind of enterprise.
And what about Jammu? Because Jammu is very different, both part of Kashmir, Himalayas, but very different in.
Jammu is having all kind of climatic condition. If you see the Samar district, if you see the Kathua district, it is just like plains adjoining the area of Punjab. And if you go to Rajouri, Poonch, Kishtwar, they are adjoining this Kashmir region, so subtropical, even temperate regions are also there. So if I talk to you about the strength in Jammu, what we are thinking, the one thing is the dairy enterprise is having very high scope in Jammu. If I give you some figures, if one farmer is having 50 animals and half a acre of land, and the last year income of that Khajuria is the farmer, his net income was 30 lakhs rupees from half acre of land by rearing animals.
Okay.
And he has also started 3 outlets in Jammu, ATM, milk ATM he has started, he is making cheese and paneer also, and animal feed also. So what I am saying, one of the strength in Jammu region is dairy.
Dairy.
Another, it is common for Jammu and Kashmir, poultry.
Okay.
And fisheries. If I give you the figures regarding fisheries, it is a lot of water is there, running water is also there. But the total production of fisheries in Jammu and Kashmir is only 20,000 tons. And the demand is 1.5 lakh tons.
Okay.
So we are not even meeting 1/7 demand of the fisheries. So it is having high scope. And poultry, fisheries, other product, 2,000 crores rupees products are coming from other part of the country.
From this very scenic location, we will continue talking to Dr. J.P. Sharma, an expert on agriculture. Dr. Sharma, this beautiful university also houses a very unique fish hospital. Everybody gets surprised, a hospital for fishes. Tell me a little bit about that.
It is a wonderful facility. In fact, very few universities are having the faculty of fisheries, and we have that facility. And they are working on trout and other kind of fishes which have high value. And I understand that you have covered this
Correct.
a lot about this. And then this faculty, I have asked two things. Not only production, but because it is a perishable commodity. So how to, there are 2-3 things. In winter seasons, the production and breeding goes down.
Yes.
So I have suggested what are the technologies which can be used to maintain the production in the winter seasons. Another thing is that food. There are different kind of fishes. One fish is at the ground level, middle water and top. So that kind of feed we have to develop. When you give it to the fishes, so their density, based on their density, it is spread. And
The feed should go to the bottom or stay in the middle of
yes,
the
yes.
Interesting.
And then third thing, because it is a perishable commodity, and we are working on processing and value addition. I have visited some farmers' field. One Sultan Singh is a farmer. He is known as a fish king in India.
Okay.
And he has developed a brand also, Fish Bite.
Okay.
So I am very much impressed, and the kind of return this fish cultivation can get, an integrated farming system also we are promoting, and the fish cultivation is an integral part of any integrated farming system. So it is having very high scope, and we are working on different aspects.
See, in the mountainous region, we've spoken about Jammu, we've spoken about Kashmir, a little bit about Ladakh, because that is also adjoining and also a cold desert which is very different, and you have to do research and development for all different locales from the same university.
Ladakh is having is a rain-fed agriculture is there. There our focus is also on medicinal plant and forest plants also, and we are promoting this polyhouse cultivation of different crops and vegetable quality is also very good, and lot of work is being done on promotion of different kind of vegetables
Sure.
in Ladakh region. And we are also helping this Jammu and Kashmir, our policy and administration is also helping, because they are cut off from the mainland for many months when snowfall is there. In marketing of their product, we are also helping them.
See, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has repeatedly emphasized on what he calls the doubling of the income of farmers. And Kashmir is a largely agrarian area, and you also have a lot of dependence on horticulture. Now, you spoke about agri-business. Can that
Yes,
help
yes.
in doubling of the farmer's income?
First, let me take 1 minute. What are the opportunities? Saffron. It's a world recognized product for Kashmir region, and it is generally grown, mainly grown in 3 districts. One is Badgaon, and one is this aapka Srinagar, and another is Pampore area. So I have visited them. So I find, I interacted with the farmers also, one can get 12 lakhs rupees from 1 hectare of land, and the crop period is only 21 days in month
very
of
short.
October. So you see, on an average, I have conducted a study in Jammu region, 80,000 rupees per hectare is the income of the farmer average. Now you see, 12 lakhs rupees per hectare, and that too from
21 days.
21 days.
Dr. Sharma, what is the research which you are doing on saffron, which is an important product from Kashmir?
2-3 things we are doing. If I give you the figures, earlier that we were growing saffron for 5,700 hectare, which came down to 3,700 hectare.
Came down.
Came down over the period of time because of many reasons. Now we have developed technology, micro irrigation system.
Okay.
Fertigation system, and more importantly, the credibility of the product was not established because there is a adulteration. So we have set up a high-tech facility of certification, the processing and certification. And now earlier the rate was only 60,000 rupees. Now it has gone up to 2 lakhs 68,000 rupees.
After this certification?
After the certification, because it is a credible, because high value crops and somebody is having suspicion whether it is adulterated or not.
Correct.
So that facility we are doing, and that facility is also for the farmers.
Sure.
They bring their product, they process it, and then everything is done there. So that is we are doing. Another is Kala Jeera.
Okay.
Kala Jeera is grown in the Gurez area
Yes.
of Kashmir. And I interacted with the farmers and also the scientists. We are having our own station also in Gurez. So they told us that 1 hectare net return is 15 lakhs rupees
Okay.
from Kala Jeera.
Kala Jeera.
And if we take a mixed crop of Kala Jeera and this saffron, one can get 21 lakhs rupees 1 hectare. Now you can compare. We are talking doubling the income of the
You are
farmer.
talking 25 times.
25 times. And there are already models established by the farmers. We are working on the farmer-led innovations. We are documenting the stories of the farmers who are already taking 5 times, 10 times of the normal farmer. The question is how to replicate those successful cases. We are working on that.
Sir, you are a master of communication and extension. The job is yours to multiply. How do you do that?
And another area you were talking about Jammu, lavender.
Yes.
I have interacted one farmer. I am just giving you the
Correct.
figures so that we are convinced that it can happen, it is being done. One farmer, Bharat Bhushan in Doda district, 5 lakhs rupees for 1 hectare of land from lavender they are taking. If we talk of the Riasi area of Jammu region, that lemongrass is becoming very common and individual farmers with the help of the government are establishing processing centers also.
Sure.
So these are kind of things which we are promoting. And then pecan nut. Rajouri, Kishtwar area, this Poonch area is very good for pecan nut cultivation. We are also focusing on it. Hing, it has been not entered here,
Yes.
and mostly it is coming from Afghanistan and other countries. We are also conducting trials whether we can take it here also.
Correct.
Another important factor is now in horticulture, high density orchard.
Yes.
Yesterday only our Honorable LG sir has made an announcement with NAFID. We are promoting this high density orchard, and the target for this year is 5,500 hectares high density orchard for almonds and apple and lychee and olive also.
Okay.
So if it happens, then the production may increase from 10 tons per hectare now to maybe 50 tons, 5 times increase maybe happen. And why I am talking about horticulture, we have conducted a study. On an average, as a farmer is getting 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees per hectare, which I told you 80,000 roughly. And if you take traditional fruits and traditional system, it gives 5 to 6 lakhs rupees. But if you go for high density orcharding, it is 10 lakhs rupees. So from 1 lakh rupees roughly to 10 lakhs rupees it is possible. So government and the universities are also working on high density orchard, and when you have visited our campus, you might have
Yes,
seen
yes, high
the
density orchard.
performance and other things of the high density orchard. That is another area where we are working.
Dr. Sharma, very beautiful. Is this also a locale where you can promote organic agriculture?
It is organic agriculture is having high potential here. Some of the areas are by default organic. When you see that organic honey, there cannot be organic honey in other part of the country because we cannot control the honey bees that they will sit on
Where will
the
they
plant
grow? Correct.
which have been grown organically. But if you see many areas in Jammu and Kashmir, Riasi, there, here, so there is no fertigation, there is no use of pesticide. So already it is organic but not declared technically, but it is organic. So it is having high scope, and we plan to expand it up to a great extent. In Riasi area, some of the villages we have converted in organic, and we are talking and we are trying to NPOP.
What is NPOP?
National Program on Organic Certification.
Okay.
And then international kind of certification we are thinking. And if it happens, then the prices of our vegetable and other commodities will increase a lot.
You will get a lot more value.
Lot value. And we have set a target that by next 3 years, how many area we will be converting in organic. So it is having high scope, and I think in next 5-7 years, the whole area here will be converted into organic. If I give you the figures that pesticide use, some of the countries are using 22.5 kg per hectare and China 13.5 kg per hectare. But in India it is already 350 grams only.
Okay.
Here it is even less. So our product in Jammu and Kashmir is already organic. The only thing is giving it a tag. Now I want to tell you one thing that Pulwama, I went there, KBK, we are talking with the farmers and the scientists. Honey, their honey was being sold for 250 rupees. And then when we have set up a lab, honey quality certification lab,
Sure.
suddenly because we are having the stamp that it is 100% organic honey and certified and having the stamp of the university, now its rate is 500, 600 rupees.
Wow.
So just doubled price of the honey, just doubled because we are assuring the consumer that it is 100% pure honey.
Like you said, agribusiness is an important
Yes,
component
yes.
for increasing the value.
Yes.
Having learnt about some of the bigger picture, let's now talk about a few specific crops which are important for the region and also about agribusiness and management, which is very important for value addition of agriculture in the 21st century. Let's go. Kashmir is well known for horticulture. Dr. Sharma, what is the distribution in agriculture, horticulture and other products?
Here the main income of the farmers is from horticulture crops. In Jammu region there are all kind of crops, wheat is there, rice is there, pulses, oilseed, everything is there. But here majority of the crops are related to horticulture. And one thing we have introduced university in the department that earlier the cropping intensity was very less. Now it has increased to 1.56%, 156%.
156.
Earlier some of the areas were monocropping, like Badgaon, many places they were taking only rice. But we have introduced mustard after the rice, and also in Jayad some pulse crops we have introduced. But by economy, major profession and the major income is from horticulture crops. I was given some figures that total revenue, this income from horticulture crops is 11,000 crores rupees, and from dry fruits it is 3,000, and from single crop apple it is 8,000. So it is not the question how to increase the production, the question is how to increase the share of farmer and consumer rupee. For that we are working on mobilizing farmers for group actions for at least for marketing purpose. You might have heard in Karnataka and Maharashtra, farmers themselves have formed the commodity based organizations, Maha Grape, Maha Anar, Maha Banana. So now the good concept government has given farmer producer organization. Farmer individually can be a better producer, but it is beyond the capacity of the farmer to process it, brand it, package it, market it and export it. So now the concept is coming farmer producer organization, and good number of farmer producer organization has been sanctioned for Jammu and Kashmir. Even our university is establishing, and good support 25 lakhs rupees is being given by NABARD to the university or the organization which is setting up the FPO, and another 18 lakhs rupees for the farmers group. So we are working on this, and once it happens then it will revolutionize change the whole agriculture.
So we are standing in a mountainous region and there is global warming which is happening, the climate is changing. Within that framework, how does agriculture need to adapt and what changes are you seeing?
Changes are very perceptible. Earlier that climate change was a word of fashion. We were using it, but we have not really witnessed the ill effect of climate. Now we are witnessing that erratic rainfall, fluctuations in the temperature, and the whole agriculture depend on the climatic conditions. When we say that mustard should be sown in the middle of October, it means it is decided that mean temperature during that period is 26 degrees centigrade, which is very good for germination, because self-sufficiency food we have achieved, but nutritional security is still missing. So now to focus on that, there are the three things we are prioritizing. One is processing and value addition, another is climate smart agriculture, and third is diversification of agriculture through new technologies. Like I told you that land is shrinking, we cannot expand it horizontally, but vertically there is no limit. So we are working on hydroponics, we are working on vertical farming, all these new things are coming up, and for future, that future crops also we are working that with a small piece of land, how the farmers can realize more income. And another problem is employment. So we are working converting agri startup.
Okay.
We are working on that also. So maybe I gave you example that half a acre of land, farmer is earning 30 lakhs rupees. Yes. Another farmer in 2.5 acre of land is earning only 80,000 rupees. So diversification and commercialization of agriculture is our priority.
Thanks a lot for explaining to us the details about how agriculture is changing in India and also in the region of the Kashmir Himalayas. A pleasure speaking to you, Dr. Sharma,
Thank you.
from this very beautiful location.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Everything else can wait but agriculture. As India is developing, the need for food will only increase, and self-sufficiency in food is the most important aspect, not just for food grain but also for nutrition. Like Dr. Sharma said, the way forward is agribusiness, entrepreneurs, and increasing the value chain and reducing the wastage of commodities and foods. Food is an important part of our lives. Food is extremely important. Without food, there is no life. Keep watching India Science.